Saturday, September the 3rd. Saturday, September the 3rd, and welcome to another edition of Make Some Intelligent Noise. I am Rachelle Wilson, your advocate for the movement for equal justice under the law. I am so excited to be in your presence once again. So thank you for keeping those dials locked in to 95.3 FM. We've got an amazing show for you today. I have a guest with me in the studio who is going to enlighten you and inform you. Some important information that we all need to be more conscious of and more aware of. So please stay tuned with us for today's edition of Make Some Intelligent Noise here at WHGE 95.3 FM. We want to always remind you that you are welcome here every single Tuesday at 6:45 p.m. at Central Baptist Church, 9th and Pine Street, here on the East Side. East Side Pride in collaboration with WHGE. We are looking to bring restorative, rehabilitative recovery for anyone dealing with addiction. And there are as many addictions as there are human people. So we want to help bring recovery and help to save lives every Tuesday night, 6:45 p.m. at Central Baptist Church. Also, save the date, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to buy me a water ice. I am ecstatically excited about September 10th, the 26th annual Family Fun Festival, being sponsored by a host of people who have chimed in to help us to bring you a fabulous experience. And so we're looking forward to you showing up, and please be on time. We start promptly at 12. I will be on the mic at 12. So I want you to show up, show me some love and some support, and then all throughout the day, we have some amazing artists and entertainment and poetry and speakers who are going to entertain you and delight you. So we look forward to seeing you September 10th, Kirkwood Park, 11th and Kirkwood Street here in Wilmington, Delaware on the East Side. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it with my guest today. I have with me one of the entertainers, one of the artists who will be performing at the September 10th festival. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome BiggaDre into the studios. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Peace, peace.
Yes, peace and grace. Thank you so much. So you have been graceful enough. We humble ourselves. Thank you so much for joining us September 10th. It's going to be a historic event, and I believe that you're going to help make it history. So tell us a little bit about what you do and how you do it, and then we'll move forward into some of your passions.
So my name is BiggaDre. Thank you also for extending the platform and also giving the city, Garvey City, is what I affectionately refer Wilmington as.
Yes.
Giving Garvey City a taste of Africa.
Yes.
I'm a youth mentor, a community organizer, event planner, and a recording artist, and a blacktivist. So I do a number of different things, and right here, I'm just here to add on to what you are doing insofar as edutainment. I know you mentioned earlier entertaining, but what I like to consider what I do is more on the edutainment, aspect of things.
I like that. I'm going to rob you of that. I'm going to hold you up and steal that from you. Edutainment. I like that. So we will be edutaining on September 10th.
Yes.
And so you've been doing music since, when did you start? When did you get bitten by the bug?
I would say, music is a soundtrack of our lives. So I would say, in high school, I began to take music a little serious. And towards the early 2000s, my partner, which is my brother, we formed this group called Inner Vibe Sound, and we had our first release in the early part, and we released our first release called Evolve or Perish, and Evolve or Perish, the remix, you can probably check that out on all platforms. But that's when things begin to get real serious, when we had an official release. Later on, I linked up with the group called the Lost Children of Babylon, which one of the members from here in Wilmington, my man Rachelle, he was actually in the group, and we landed our first major distribution deal with a company called BiggaDre Records out in New York. From there, I just been continuing the whole musical journey while doing the actual work. I like to consider what I do real rap. It's not just like we sit up there and just rapping about it. The things that we're talking about as it relates to positivity and upliftment and liberation of our people, we're actually doing. I can only speak for the ones who are actually doing it in the groups that I'm in. So, but more specifically myself. So, and now I'm on the solo project that I'm doing, which is a little bit more than music. It's more of like a movement, the eschatology, bring our girls back movement. Hashtag eschatology, bring our girls back, is to bring awareness to the 75,000 missing black women that the media fails to bring attention to.
Well, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, I love that, the eschatology. I'm going to need you to spell that for our radio listeners. They cannot see us. They can only hear us. So we may want to spell it for them. And give us your platforms to find you. Where do the people find you if they want to listen to some of your music?
Right. So you can definitely reach out to me on Instagram, because it's a little bit more than music. I want you guys to get familiar with the campaign, because not only are we just making music, but we're raising funds, raising awareness so we can put something in place. So my Instagram is official BiggaDre. That's official BiggaDre. And if you just tap the link in my bio, that clicks you to the campaign. As far as getting the music, it's only one musical piece that I've released solo. And it's more than music. It's a PSA. It's a public service announcement. And it's called Eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back. The goal and the idea behind that is to get everyone to download this musical work. In the same way, you can take any musical work or song and create your own trend, or so to say. We want you to use this music and post something that deals with human trafficking, more specifically as it relates to the melanated community.
Okay.
So this is the theme music. Like I said, music is the soundtrack to our lives.
Yes.
You think of eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back. We want this to go viral. We actually have a visual that goes along with it, so it's a little bit more than music. But Eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back by BiggaDre is on all digital platforms, like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, you name it.
Awesome.
Or you can go to the official the website, which is official BiggaDre.HEAR.now.com.
Okay.
So that's official BiggaDreHereNow.com.
All right, perfect. I love that, and I hope that you're getting this, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be important and relative that you understand the edutainment that BiggaDre brings to the stage on September 10th. We support that, and we love that, and I think that's one of the reasons that we reached out and we wanted you to be a part of this. So now let's talk about what you've been making references to, Bring Our Girls Home. It's a passion about trafficking or not trafficking our young melanated females. And I don't know everything about that, but the research that I did do, I was able to find out that oftentimes, of course, we know the typical, they're used for sex trafficking. They're sold off and used for sex slaves all across the world. Some of them are even taken outside of the United States. But what I found was very interesting and really appalling is that oftentimes it is our organs, the organs of these young girls, particularly their uteruses, that are being extracted from them. We're finding their dead bodies with the uterus, and other body parts are missing. So, and we know there's a lot of science right now going on with the transgender community who are trying to incorporate and have babies. And so science is using these girls' organs to see whether or not they can implant them into men, natural born men, so that they can have babies. And I find that somewhat appalling. People's sexual preference is their own business, but do not kill our little black girls, brown and golden girls, for science. Like, I am totally against that. What is it that got you started in this passion? Like, why are you so passionate about this? And what do you want to see happen from it?
It's interesting that I'm always asked this question. So like, everyone asks me this question, and to me it's like a no-brainer. Like, every time I do it, every time I do an interview, people always ask me that same question.
Yes.
Right? But, you know, culture is the glue that keeps the community together, right? And as African people, our culture, right, you know, we put the woman first. So this campaign with eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back, that's why I say it's a little bit more than just like music. It's a movement. It's more than just the woman. We put the woman first in our culture.
Divine woman. We can give life and birth. That's right underneath of God.
Absolutely. The woman is God. The black woman is God. So we come from a matriarchal society, right?
Yes.
And in our culture, the men are the protectors and the keepers of the woman. So me, you know, having the knowledge of self and having the awareness, I know my place as, you know, a divine masculine.
Yes.
It's like we have the divine feminine, we got the divine masculine, and our place is to be the protectors and the keepers of the black woman and the child. So that's why I'm saying the eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back, PSA, and I hope you have it so that we can, for everyone's listening ears, we can actually go through it and kind of dissect it. I actually speak of it. I say the woman, I speak about the importance of the woman. This is a guide or a manual. It's not just like regular music. You're definitely going to vibe out to it, you can listen to it, but if you really kind of like go into the hidden jewels, that's why it's not just called just Bring Our Girls Back. It's called eschatology. It's bringing you to the awareness of what period of time we're in, because human trafficking goes beyond just like where we're at in this period of time. Human trafficking is what this country was built on. You know what I'm saying?
On so many levels,
Yeah.
I completely, I follow you on that. And I've had the good fortune in my lifetime to both meet with and interview once Brother Richard Raw. And he is absolutely a brother who is all about, you know, the woman and divinity and the Orishas and our culture. So if you're vibing off of that type of energy that he's vibing off of, he's very well known here in Delaware. You're going to do absolutely fabulous because people are loving that energy. They're loving that eschatology or that energy of the divine feminine. So
and masculine.
And masculine, yes.
And that's
because we all have a place.
Yeah, that's what's important about this campaign. It's a call to the man, woman, and child. So it's a call to the black man. So this right here, this whole thing is an example to say, all right, because a lot of times I've seen like these false narrative that's been painted online. They'll say, you know, the black woman is the most disrespected, unprotected, and they want us to accept that type of propaganda, right? So what it does is it creates a resentment for the black woman has for the black man, and then it makes the black man feel like, well, if that's the case, you know, what can I do? It makes him feel like, you know, he's not doing his job.
Right.
But the reality is, all right, here's a campaign that was, you know, divinely started, inspired. A black man, I'm stepping out front, and no man is an island. So it's not about me as an individual. It's about a collective.
Yes.
So what I'm saying to you is like, you know, this is a call to the men. You know, it's men. We have to start focusing on what's important, right? And what's important is our women, because the woman gives birth to the nation.
Yes.
She's a valuable commodity to the whole equation.
Yes.
Right. So that's one thing. So when you listen to it, we're going to talk about the woman and how she gives birth to the child.
Yes.
The children are our future.
Yes.
So that's how important the woman is. But
yes,
that doesn't mean that the man doesn't have a place. That doesn't mean that he's just a protector and a keeper. Right.
And
we are
provider.
a product of and a provider. We're a product of the woman. Now we should be respected as such as well.
Yes.
I can't protect you if you feel as though that I'm not your security.
Yes.
Or you don't respect my level.
Yes.
So this is a manual for us as a community to kind of get things in perspective. Like you mentioned earlier about different people's preferences. This is not, we don't discriminate against anyone's preference. You know, but in natural nature, we recognize that we have the divine feminine and you have the divine masculine, and when we come together, we produce the black child.
The family. There's a phrase, I was once a part of an organization where we learned the phrase that a nation, any nation, no nation can rise higher than its woman.
Thanks.
Right? And we know that the change went from divine feminine women to a matriarchal, a patriarchal society. It flipped over when the Dutch and the English and all of those folks started hibernating here to these continental Mexamor. So that's when it flipped over to where men became, the importance, and women were sort of diminished or downgraded. And in that mindset, with those people bringing that mindset, our people sort of begin to adopt it and follow through with it, but it's really incorrect information that but it's hundreds of years, that this indoctrination has been put on our people, that women are the lower class and men are the higher class, when it's actually the other way around.
Well, I don't think it's the other way around. I think that if you go into our culture, I think when you go into our culture, when you look at the ancient, like Tamarans, okay, or the Neolithic Negroes of the Nile, right? When you see our ancestors, the woman is right beside the man, or the man is right beside the woman. So it's not like the woman, we put the woman first because we respect her as the first creature, the first divine being, okay? But it's not like the woman is higher in that aspect. We don't want to get into a point where, because then what happens is you'll have young males trying to be feminine. They feminizing our young, and we talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's not like we putting the woman behind us. We're saying let's restore the woman back to her rightful place,
which is right beside us. Okay, and I will admit that was a misstatement on my point. I think what I was attempting to get to is, because we can birth by nature, and I'm not, not surgically, but actually birth, and they say women have this sixth sense, right? This extra sensory perception thing kind of going on. That's kind of special, and that's not to diminish in any way our brothers and our men. But I think that's what I'm thinking in my mind in terms of that divinity and connection with that something greater and higher than ourselves. So, but it is side by side. We are to be side by side, and you are our protectors, our providers, our lovers, our friends. You're supposed to be all of that. But over these hundreds and hundreds of years, with them turning everything around, women, even black women, have gotten to the point where they think, I'm so independent, I don't need my brothers. And I think that is very bad indoctrination.
Yeah, that's definitely not community. That's not what we it takes a village to raise one child, and that's why I was saying we just got to get things back into its natural order. So to answer your question, to how we got into this conversation, it's our role as the men. It's a no-brainer to me. Like, all right, if you're telling me, I get the information that melanated women are being taken disproportionately in our community, and I know my role as the protector and the keeper of the black woman, what can I do? So earlier we mentioned some of the things that I do. One of the things that I do is I'm a recording artist, and it doesn't mean you got to go out there. That's what I'm saying. You don't got to go out there and act like you just this macho man, and you can do whatever you need to do to bring awareness. This is a prevention awareness campaign. There's a lot of different things that we have goals to actually do with this beyond just music. So that's what it's all about. It's just knowing your role as a man and your relation to our women. That's what inspired me. I went into the studio. I was working on my solo project. I felt convicted in my spirit during that period of time when I kept hearing about these missing girls in DC, and I was like, oh, I can't go in here and make a trap song or just a regular rap song. I have to, I got the knowledge of self. I have to go in here and use the God-given gift that He has bestowed upon me to convey a message which results in sound right reasoning. That's what's important. Yeah. So I had to, so that was the birth of this. Okay. But it wasn't the time. But the time is now. Eschatology, now is the time, because now, at that time, when I first created it, it was like about 64,000. And then when I went back during the beginning of the pandemic to revisit, you know, because when you're working on a project, it's like progress is a process, right?
Yes, it's hard work to it too. Yeah. Anytime you're going to get yourself together and elevate yourself, it's hard work to that. Like you got to make sacrifices in the hustle. Yeah. So eschatology is ESCHATOLOGY, eschatology. And I think if we could Google that, or we can get to those platforms under official BiggaDre here and now, we may be able to really chime in and see what it is that the brother is trying to share with us, and make sure we look at that PSA, public service announcement. So that's the beginning of when it hit you. And tell us a little bit about where are we now post-pandemic, right? Allegedly, it's 2022. Where are we now? And do you have any information? Where are the girls? And have any of them been found? Did any of them tell us where they were? Who took them? And what about criminal charges? And I have all these questions for you.
Shout out to allhiphop.com, because I touch on some of these subjects. It's an interview that you can read. It's online. If you just Google BiggaDre and All Hip Hop, I talk about the different areas, because earlier you mentioned like sex trafficking, but human trafficking, like you said, it's various areas of it. But some of our young ladies are being found, but this is happening on a case-to-case basis. What I want people to understand is that this is not a logistics thing. I just came from Vegas. And when I was out in Vegas, they had a billboard, and the billboard, if you go on my Instagram, which is official BiggaDre, I just posted, and it says, what does human trafficking look like? And it just was, for the most part, it was just melanated people on this billboard, and then they had a number to contact them. But what I'm saying to you is, we can't wait for other people to be a solution to our problems.
Yes,
or our challenges.
Yes.
So then, all right, so some people might say, well, how is rapping? What is that going to do? Like, just talking about it, like that's not gonna do anything. Like, okay, well, one, it's not just rapping. It's a PSA. It's a public service announcement. The same way you used to see those advertisements or those PSAs back in the day. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
Right.
This is one making you aware that the climate is conducive for people to just come into the melanated community in cargo vans without windows and just snatch your daughter or your sister or your aunt or maybe even your mama off the street. So this is the awareness part of the campaign, to make you say, okay, now I heard that. It's to put a seed, it's to plant a seed. That's number one. That's the awareness. Yes. Online, we share so much. They had the silhouette challenge. We got all these different things. I have a visual where you can show. It shows these people, these pedophiles, these sadistic individuals who hide behind computer screens. If you listen to your PSA, I talk about in the beginning, the intro. It talks about how people are using the internet, right, to
reel these girls in.
They might be talking. Your young, monitor what your children is doing online. Okay?
Yes.
So it's different things. They just told me. I just found out that Apple has this new update that when you post stuff, they can find out where you're at logistically.
I think it's so interesting, and this is a tangent. I'm telling you now, I'm about to go off on a quick tangent. So, they started putting up 5G towers prior to the shutdown, lockdown of the COVID thing, right? The whole COVID-19, 16, 18. And all these 5G towers started going up. Like, no one could understand why the towers were going up, and then COVID hit. And then we understood, because of the lockdown, all of these towers were going up so that people could go online. And every pedophile and sex trafficker and human trafficker was jumping around doing the hula hoop, because now they could go online and find their next victims. So, it's interesting how these things work, just the tangent, the bubble in my head sees how these things have been played out. So now our little girls are online because that's the norm.
And boys
are
right.
online for the 2022. They're going to school. It's post-COVID. They're online. They're shopping online. You can buy your clothes and all this stuff online. Every time you go online, there are people out there who are computer savvy enough to know how to find you and get a hold of your information and your credit cards and your locations.
That's the eschatology part.
Yes.
The eschatology part.
Yes.
That's the period of time we're in, where the beast has got to a level where as though he's infiltrated every facet of your life. So we're in it. So, but what I'm saying
nothing
to you
is safe. Where's the safety for us?
Safety comes from us. What I'm saying is we can create the climate unconducive. We can start putting it out there. Oh yeah. Oh, I heard that. When you hear that eschatology, bring our girls back, it should be, oh yeah, it's crazy. We got to stay on code. We got to keep something in our mind and keep us focused, because there's so much distractions out there. And I think that we as melanated people, we need to focus on what's really important.
And I want to go all the way back to one of the beginning things that you said in our conversation. We talked about black women or brown women. I say brown hued women because brown comes in so many colors, but brown women, brown woman is the mother of civilization. We found a body, and of course the people who found it, they decided to name it Lucy. Like it would never have been named Lucy in a million years. Right? But in Ethiopia, we found the oldest human body bones in the world, in history. And it was a black female. They pulled the DNA from the bone and found out it was definitely a black woman. So we know that all of us of every nationality, we started from a black woman.
Thanks.
And so the womb, the uterus of a black woman, is the strongest uterus of all uteruses, I believe, in the world. This is my personal opinion about that. But when I look at the trouble that some people have having babies, and then the rest of us, we do very well having babies. Brown women have babies very easily until all of these medications and pharmaceutical drugs, and we need to take this pill and that shot and these things. Now women are having black women are having a heck of a time with our birth rate. Like, we're not producing babies the way we once produced babies. You know, if you look back in history, we were having 11 and 12 children, right?
Why do you think that is, though?
Because of the chemicals, the pharmaceuticals that we are ingesting in our bodies, and then the ones that we're not, like those 5G towers, they emit small levels of radiation. So imagine just walking every day to the corner store and picking up this radiation. What is that doing to all of us in the human body, but particularly the uterus of our black women? So that's just my personal passion, that they're taking uteruses and doing things with them that are not natural to be done with them. So I'm supporting you. Even it may not just be on the trafficking, but it's on the whole taking our little girls and dissecting them for science. I am totally against that. So I'm totally for you. Absolutely, and I will be continuing to support this message in my message moving forward. You have my word on that.
We need people to tap into this campaign. Like, we're raising funds and we're raising awareness. It does take these people who have money. It does take funding for us to get there. So like, I need people to really tap in and if you say that this is an issue, empower the solution.
What is the solution? And I also want you to answer, did any of the girls that were refound, did they tell us who took them and where they came from? But what is the solution?
Well, so that's an individual and like I said, a case-by-case basis. Information like that, you can go on to Black and Missing Foundation. That's another organization. Because there are a lot of advocacy groups that work and do this type of work. You know what I mean? But as far as the solution, one of the solutions that we're providing is so Eschatology Bring Our Girls Back is a prevention awareness campaign, right? So if you go to the campaign, there's 99 pledges, Eschatology, we talk about what some of the solutions that we are working towards. So one of the solutions that I would like to see is a human trafficking prevention awareness app. Okay, a comprehensive app that prioritizes melanated people. So when you donate to this campaign, right, like I said, we're not waiting for someone to come along and develop an application to
save
popularize it,
yeah,
more people. So that's one of the solutions. I think that if we can get a comprehensive
How would that app work?
Well, that's what we need to get. Shout out to my man, what's his name? Idris Sandu. If you're on my Instagram, I need you to tag Idris Sandu and say, hey, BiggaDre would like to collaborate with you. We have a serious issue. Because see, like I said, I'm a community organizer, event planner, recording artist, but I'm not a circus. I know there are people who work in different areas that have the specific knowledge that we need to attack these problems. Right. So Idris Sandu, if you're listening, somebody share this, get it to Idris Sandu, say BiggaDre is trying to get in contact with you, want him to develop an application so that we can get this under control. Yes. So we want an application. So I'm not an app developer, but I know this is one of the things that we need. That we have the Amber Alert. When I say we have the Amber Alert, I'm saying the Amber Alert is supposed to be for everybody. But when you do some research, and I want people to do some research seriously about this. You do some research on Laura Silsby and Amber Alert. Okay, just Google Laura Silsby, Amber Alert, and Haiti. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Just do some research.
It's not working out so well for us.
She was an administrator for the Amber Alert. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is we got to do things for us and by us. Yes. And who would have more empathy or would recognize that the issue is very important to us other than one of our own? We need something that's created by us so it can be the most effective.
Maybe an app on our phones where if we see something that's not proper, or we see these vans or these whatever they're called, these big van things sitting in our neighborhoods, then we immediately do something about it. But calling the police is not going to work. Okay. We need to be able to call brothers like you and say, BiggaDre, I just saw a van with no windows and I think he's looking for little girls.
Or have an application, not just put it on BiggaDre, because this is a call. Right. So all this is the whole community.
Well, whoever the men are in that community.
Everybody, women and children, because it takes a village to raise a child. Yes. So if we have this app and we're raising funds, we need you to donate to the campaign. Yes. If we have this app and you download the app, right? It's going to be on your phone. Yes. So that's everybody's responsibility. Everybody has to take part in this.
Yes, and when we see something, we say something.
And do something.
And
put things in place. So that's one thing. Yes. Another thing with this campaign, when you donate to the campaign, we want a human resource building. Now, we might start it logistically from where I'm at. That might be one place. But we want to make the model or the prototype for communities across the country. Yes. And human trafficking is globally, but we got to take care of home first.
It is global, and they do take these girls from over there and bring them over here, and from over here and take them over there. So it is a global problem. And again, these people on these computers are jumping up and down with joy that they can find their next victim online.
Want to get to another solution. So we got the application. Yeah. Human resource building. These are the goals. I want people to think that this is a fly by night, like this is something I just came up with.
No, absolutely not.
I want people to understand, like, this is what we need. So another thing is we need, now we gotta remember that you mentioned earlier that there's some people who have been trafficked and they've been recovered. Yes. So now, are they damaged goods, or do they need healing?
They need healing. They've been traumatized.
So that's another campaign. We want
a trauma center.
A healing center.
A healing center for the traumatized.
Holistic healing for us. Because see, a lot of times in our community, we have all of these different people trying to be solutions to our problems, but they don't quite understand it. They don't quite understand how gentrification impacts our community. They don't quite understand, like you said, trauma. So we need a certain type of healing that is designed specifically for us. So when you donate to the campaign, we want to have therapists. We want to have holistic therapists who are melanated people who can empathize with this issue that's affecting our community. So that's another one of them. So and then we want to put something in place as far as legislation.
There you go. Now you're talking my language.
Okay, we want to put something in place insofar as legislation where people are held accountable for committing these heinous acts.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different things. So we need groups to organize with us so that we can put something in place and let those who we have put into these positions, let them know this is gentrification is important to our community. Human trafficking is disproportionately affecting the black community. We want you to help hold people accountable for this. If not, this is what we need to do. We need you to allocate funds to organizations and individuals who are doing the work to help prevent and counteract human trafficking.
Absolutely. I 100,000% agree with you. And I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can help me with this. I saw something. I was on TikTok and I saw this post that some of these heinous people, I want to just choke the crap out of them, I really do, but they will put a zip tie on your door handle, and that lets the traffickers know that this is a good victim, this is a good candidate for victimization. I don't know if that was a true post or not, but I assure you, I'm an old fogey, so nobody wants me, you know what I mean? They really are targeting our young, pretty little girls, our birth girls who are still, and boys who can still have babies and mature and that sort of thing. But if you do see a zip tie on the handle door of someone's car, if you see a white van, a black van, any van with no windows, don't go near it. Cut the zip tie off, but do not go near the vans by yourself. Please get a male or some girls to escort you. And I say my girls because I know if we saw something crazy, you better run from us because we gonna hurt you. We're gonna hurt the drivers of those vans, right? We're gonna beat your butt.
If we can get the community support, then we can have an app, and then you can just put, "Hey, I feel unsafe." It's no limit. You know, we talk about how bad the technology is. It's bad when you sit up there and you just putting yourself out there to exploit yourself to be a target. So I would encourage our women to look, you don't have to be super modest, but you don't have to market yourself and open up to, people that are sick.
But see, our young girls are coming up in a culture where we have allowed them, with all this freedom and diversity that we're allegedly accepting, we know that there's a higher divine spiritual being that does not want our girls to walk around in shorts that go way up into the crack and little mini and dresses and some of the things that these young ladies are dressing themselves in every day just gets a pedophile off. It just gets them off just to look at them. So you know they're going to want to go and snatch them up and do whatever it is in their imagination that they wanted to do to these girls. So dressing modestly and looking like a lady is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
And just not you got to remember that the human body, is a magnificent, marvelous creation of the Creator.
Yes.
And so you have
a work of art.
A work of art, especially as it relates to the black woman.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm a woman.
Yes. I got you. I'm with you.
But, So once we put that in perspective, then we can look at things from okay, would you just put your valuables out there? I got jewels around my neck right now, right? Sometimes I tuck them, not because I'm scared, it's because, I might not want to put too much light in your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Not too much bling in your face, so to say. I'm just showing a little personality.
Yes.
I'm just saying, we gotta, we are valuable commodities, and we have to, take care of ourselves. We can't exploit ourselves. We can't over sexualize ourselves. They made they made our men into this toxic. They promote toxic masculinity and misogyny, and they made our women into seductress. Okay, so this is why we got to get things back to a cultural perspective, because in our culture, we had ancestors who actually were represented by different symbols. So like if you take Ma'at, Ma'at is the feather, which represents divine justice. And if you look at Aset or Isis, she's the throne or the seat, right? And so her headpiece is the steps.
Yes.
Right? So,
yes.
The
elevation of the mind.
Right.
Yes.
Body and spirit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Through the woman. So
yes.
once we start introducing those type of concepts and people start recognizing that this is important, they won't kind of just put it out there, because that which is kept secret is kept sacred.
Yes.
But now the best kept secret that was best kept sacred is best to be made known now, and that the woman is God. Okay? Now, I don't want the sisters to get the ego that the male had, because we know that the black man is God as well. So I don't want y'all to get egotistical, like, yeah, that's right, brothers, y'all beneath me, right? Right?
Yeah, let's not do that part.
If we are a product of the woman, right? That means that the black man is God as well.
Yes.
And when we get back into natural nature, then we can have right rulership and work together.
Yes, which it is equal. It is together.
Yeah, it's in unison. We got it.
It's kind of like, and I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of Bible, but the Bible says that the man is the head and the woman is the body. And to some degree, I can see where you're talking about in relationship to the head can go nowhere without the body. The body is no good without the head. So they work together. And whether you take it from the original Egyptologists and the original, the way that we originally started, I think it still works the same. We need each other. The divine spirit put us together to work together as one. We're supposed to work together as one. But I wanted to ask you, as we get ready to move forward in our very last segment, what are we going to do about some of the young girls and some of the young boys? I can't tell you how many young fellas I've seen, handsome fellas, really handsome fellas, wearing high heels and mini skirts, and they're men, like they're straight born natural males, but they're wearing high skirt, and then the girls wearing the clothing that they wear, and they're twerking. I saw someone not long ago with their 3-year-old child, and all these women standing around, edging this 3 or 4-year-old child to keep twerking and twerk. Get it, girl, get it, girl. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't blame the 3-year-old child. I'm looking at all of these adult women standing around this child, edging her on to keep twerking. For a 2 or 3-year-old, that's a pedophile's dream. That's a pedophile's dream, a trafficker's dream, to find that 3-year-old child. So how are we going to change the mindset, the conscious awareness, in order to make these changes?
All right, well, simple answer is the best way to teach is by way of example. So that's the first thing. We gotta, I gotta start here with myself. You gotta start with yourself. Each one teach one, right? The next thing is, I think hip hop, gets a bad rap for like degenerating our women. It gets a bad rap, and I know.
Well, calling us those names and stuff is not nice.
Let me finish. Because there's a difference between rap and hip hop. So what I do is BiggaDre, or I'm on Sinhotep Ray, is hip hop, right?
Okay.
And it's not entertainment; it's edutainment.
Yes.
So I think hip hop, as a whole, gets a bad name for degenerating the woman. I think that we need to support the artists, who are producing music that are liberating our women.
Yes.
Support that.
Yes.
The same way if you want the climate to change, then you can be a part of the change. You can be the change that you want to see. Call up to your radio station and say, hey, y'all got Eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back by BiggaDre? No, we never heard it. Y'all need to get that on there. Because if you don't want them playing the music that's on that radio station, then to do nothing, you're part of the problem.
Absolutely.
But you can do something. You got a voice. You turn on the radio. You can call up there. If they're giving something away, you going up there and trying to win those tickets to go see whomever perform. Support the artist. I'm not the only artist.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I got to take care of business first. But yeah, support the artists. Support the people, the groups. Support Black and Missing Foundation. support this campaign.
Yes.
That's how we got to do. We got to support the people who are on the front line, that are advocating for us, and who are uplifting. Support this radio station.
Yes.
If you want certain type of broadcasting, you got to support it. Donate. I'm sure y'all have. Donate to this radio station. We got to just support, efforts that are geared towards uplifting our community. So with that being said, I need y'all to follow me on my Instagram, which is official BiggaDre, right? Official BiggaDre. Tap the link in my bio and donate to the campaign. I need you to download Eschatology, Bring Our Girls Back, and I need you to make the PSA go viral. You don't have to use the visual. I have a visual that you can share with it. It shows people like Epstein and all of these, sadistic characters, but it's more people than that, right? You don't have to show the. You can take the music itself. The platforms, these social media platforms, they made it easy where you can take music and you can just post. But we posting, showing your chain and your car and show.
Yes.
Take the music, take key parts on there when I'm talking about human trafficking and what for 400 years they got us waiting, praying. Take that information and create your own PSA with it.
Okay.
All right. Let's
I love that. I love that.
We Idle Minds Devil Workshop. We can do something positive. We can be the change that we want to see in our community.
So on September 10th, you're going to come out. You're going to give us some edutainment, and you will enlighten the audience even more and get an opportunity to talk with some people and promote that. So I'm really asking everyone, please show up, come out, meet BiggaDre, shake his hand, talk to him, ask him questions, get copies, do whatever you got to do, pay for whatever, a copy of the PSA, show your love and support, make donations, whatever has to happen. This good brother is really working diligently and making the sacrifices necessary in order to save our little young girls, our little brown girls, all right? And those are your daughters and your sisters. I won't say your moms, because, when we get a certain age, we're not as useful as we are when we are still young. So, and I think something else you said was important. Support the artists who are supporting our community. All right?
Just a side note. This campaign, we're starting with the woman, but it's bigger than just it's about us as a community. This is just, like I said, by way of example. Black men, step it up. Yes. You know what I mean? So by way of example, I'm saying, as a black man, so brother, what are you doing? Well, I'm using my platform, I'm using my vehicle, which is music, to bring awareness.
Yes.
I'm using my platform on what I do as a community organizer, so we can raise funds, so we can develop this app. This is what I'm doing. Now, what can you do? Well, all right, well, I work out, I do fitness. All right, well, you can be security. Right. Why don't you start a team like they used to do? What they had, the Angels? What was that?
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yes.
We need them all around the community now. We need brothers.
Yes.
Specific
they were a
brothers.
break off of the Black Panthers.
Okay.
I forgot.
Angels.
The Guardian Angels.
Okay.
And they were simply brothers walking the streets late night, making sure that communities were safe.
We need to bring that back.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah.
And that's our time for today. BiggaDre, I can't thank you enough. I'm so thankful for you bringing this message. I support that, and I will continue to do so moving forward. You are listening to Rachelle Wilson here on Saturday. Make some intelligent noise. The movement for justice, equal justice under the law. And you're doing that at WHGE 95.3, the one and only Black-owned, Black-operated news, information, and advocacy station in the state of Delaware. Thank you to Mr. Harmon Carey. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Love yourselves. Take care of yourselves and be good to yourselves. But please know that karma is real. Be good to other human beings. That's it for today. God bless you. Take care, and we'll see you September 10th. Promptly at 12 noon, promptly at 12 noon, to join us for this amazing historic festival. Peace and grace, everyone. God bless.
Peace.
Garvey City. I love it.